here to tell you about how the Lit Solar Lantern Project is helping students in the developing world get light. Helping in one school gave me the experience I needed to do more. So I came up with an idea, a way to help even more kids by recycling money. And I want you to know that by taking small steps, young people like us can make a big difference in the world. And I started the LIT project as a high school freshman. It began with a small question to my neighbor, Pam Allen. She does amazing work with kids with her literacy organization called Lit World in the Red Rose School in Kibera, which is a slum of Nairobi in Kenya. It's run by the Children of Kibera Foundation and a man who's now our project's partner, Jeff Okoff. I asked her, since most kids in Kibera don't have electricity, how do your students read and study after dark? She said that they use kerosene lamps. Now, here you can see some of the students. This is Paul right here, and this is Sharon. You can see them using the lamps. Now look how dim they are. Look at that open flame. Now, I looked them up, and just that first day, I saw how dirty and dangerous they were. Imagine if in order to do your homework, you had to risk getting burned or sick. And I found out also that kerosene smoke causes lots of diseases. It causes asthma, lung cancer, pneumonia. Pneumonia is actually the biggest killer of children. It kills over 2 million each year, which is more than AIDS, malaria, and measles combined. Kerosene prices are also a big burden for poor families, and kerosene smoke is a major contributor to global warming. I learned that by replacing kerosene lamps with solar lanterns, we can help keep kids safe and healthy, we can help them learn to read, and we can help prevent global warming. Each solar lantern can stop the release of up to a ton of kerosene. That last picture was one of the first boys we gave a solar lantern to, back 2 years ago. The first lanterns actually turned out to break too easily, so we actually even had to end up doing 4 pilots, 4 test studies of lanterns before finding the best fit for our Kibera students. The best fit is a lantern that's bright, sturdy, affordable. It can't break easily, because that first one really did. It has a good angle of light, and most importantly even, it's not too tall. Because you wouldn't think about it being too tall as a downside, just off the top of your head, but actually, if it's too tall, then it can't be charged on top of a roof, because someone that's walking by a one-story house could just see it from the street and just take it. So now Sharon and Paul have solar light. See how clear and bright it is? There's no smoke coming from it. It's great. And here is Doreen Ache. I visited her last summer. The family was healthy, but it was for the first time in years. For years beforehand, they had been battling pneumonia. They had sat close to their kerosene lamp every night, just inhaling the smoke. The kids were doing homework, and Doreen was sewing. Medicines helped briefly, but they were expensive, and the illness would return soon anyway. Everything changed with the solar lantern. The coughing disappeared. There was no more pneumonia. Doreen's daughter's reading and school success just improved so much. And Doreen was actually able to expand her sewing business because she had the light and better health. And in an unexpected result, turns out that Doreen and other families like her are actually able to buy more food for their children now that they're not paying for this expensive kerosene. So solar lanterns help not only with reading, health, and global warming, but also with malnutrition. So now we knew we had to expand to more schools, but this raised a question. New students enter schools every year. so much from not buying kerosene, up to a third of their income. Just a small part of these savings, done on a weekly basis, could, in a year, completely cover the cost of their lanterns. Then that money goes into a fund, and that fund will buy lanterns for the students next year. This was a big idea though, but how did we make it happen? It was small steps. First, we needed information. So we developed questionnaires to learn more about solar lighting needs, what families could afford, and the impact of the lanterns. This small step, our research, added to existing solar lantern knowledge in 3 original ways. First, we investigated not just test scores, but actually students' experiences. Second, we brought attention to the solar lighting needs of urban children, not just the rural kids who most people had been focusing on. And then thirdly, we found out what families in different locations could afford. And then, so using our research data, we were able to take the next small step, actually setting up this program. And it works. Remember Doreen? She has now finished paying for her lantern. The fund has since used that money to cover another child's lantern. And there's more. Doreen actually saved up so much from not buying kerosene that she's been able to buy another lantern for her relatives who need light too. The revolving fund makes it possible for people like Doreen to get the benefits of solar light, and actually also empowers them to be givers themselves. Doreen's children are growing up with better health, with better nutrition, and with better academic skills. And that's the story of the LIT project. I started by helping kids in one school, and then I learned how much solar lanterns can help people, and I found a way to help a lot more people. Progressing in small steps allowed us to come up with new ideas and build a more successful program. Between our lanterns, our research, and our youth volunteer fundraisers, the LIT Solar Lantern Project will soon have a presence in 8 countries, in Africa, in the Pacific, and in Asia. A lot of teams, a lot of people here have great ideas, and I'm sharing the story to let you know that with small steps,